Hey, hello. I am Caitlin Sosby. I've been using the oils for about 6 years now. I actually started using these oils with specifically my daughter when she was just a newborn. She had digestive issues, and we were introduced to the essential oils. I have used these oils through two complete pregnancies, through labor, through delivery, which for me was C-section, but I've pulled a lot of information from those who had successful VBACs and natural births. And then I've also successfully, with essential oils, breastfed all three of my children, and I've used the essential oils along the process in a safe way, and I'm going to share all that with you in this class. In this class, we're going to talk about a number of things, and it's mostly focusing on that preconception time and preparing ourselves for having children through actually the whole pregnancy, and then through that labor, the postpartum health, and newborns. We're just going to talk a little bit of the main issues that you might come across in those times and what you can do. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about Essential Oil 101 and how we might tweak that for mothers and babies. But if you want a full 101 class, then you'll need to listen to my Essential Oils Made Easy or my Essential Oils 101 class. And that'll go a lot more into depth. This class is a little more about taking the information from that class and tweaking it for maternity and newborns. And I'm sorry, you're hearing my kids like running back and forth outside the office, and I have no idea what they're up to. It was quiet until I started this. They just know. So natural options for tender times. We know that we want to use something natural in this time. I feel like so many mothers actually start their natural life journey during their pregnancy or with a newborn, because then they start thinking, I'm rubbing this on my skin and I know it's getting into my body, and I'm growing a human, a beautiful human in my uterus. Don't I need to be thinking about what I'm taking? You show up to your first prenatal appointment and they give you this long list of all the medications you can't take, and you start second guessing everything you've done for the whole beginning of your life. Like, I've done all these things and now I'm finding out that they're not safe during pregnancy. I wonder if they were ever safe at all. And so this is it's a crucial point for so many people, because they go from not ever really considering a natural lifestyle to, oh my gosh, why haven't I thought of this before? And so don't be surprised. Like, if you're in this place, you are exactly in the same place as so many other mothers. This is a normal time to be drawn into a more natural lifestyle. So essential oils, we're going to do a little tiny bit of the 101. An essential oil is actually an aromatic compound. It's not a cooking oil like olive oil or avocado oil. It's an aromatic compound. It likes to evaporate. It's when you peel an orange, you're smelling the essential oil being released. When you smell flowers, you're smelling, like if you smell a dozen roses, you're smelling the essential oil of those roses. It's what's giving it the aromatherapy, what's smelling wonderful about it. But what's great about essential oils is they're actually the medicine for the plant. It's what's helping that plant stay healthy, to fight against those environmental and seasonal, those threats out in the world. The essential oil is what's keeping that plant strong. And so we harvest that essential oil and we use it for ourselves. Essential oil is incredibly potent. 1 drop of peppermint is equal to about 26 cups of peppermint tea. It is so potent. So think about it. When you you feel nauseous, you've got digestive upset, you make yourself a cup of peppermint or ginger tea, and it's lovely and wonderful, but it may not actually get the job done. What's great about essential oils is that they're so much more potent. Never would you just sit down and drink 26 cups of peppermint tea. Like, no crazy person would, no normal person would do that, right? Because that's insane to have that many cups one after another. But that might be what you need to have that medicinal support, right? That where you actually have a therapeutic benefit is having something that potent. And so the essential oil is already that potent. You take that one drop, you apply it to your stomach with some carrier oil, and you get the therapeutic benefit of it. It's also incredibly safe. There's not all those side effects that we're getting from other more modern medicine issues. That's where you're having a lot of problems when it comes to when you're pregnant. You know, you can't take all these medicines because it can harm the baby. Can't take all these things. Well, with essential oils, it's safe. We're not forcing change in the body. Essential oils are supporting our body. It's giving our body the tools it needs for our body to be reminded how to take care of itself. You see, our bodies are created really well. Our bodies know what they're supposed to do, but sometimes because of the environments we're in, or maybe the lack of nutrients in our food, it forgets. And so the essential oils, just like a good, wonderful diet will do, essential oils come alongside that, and they help remind our body of how it's supposed to act. So again, it's that gentle, safe thing for these tender times, that maternity through newborn phase. And it gives you a lot of support for all different sorts of reasons. It's not just one or two, it's all across the board. Now, my little disclaimer, I use doTERRA essential oils, and there's a number of reasons I do. One, for its CPTG, which is certified pure therapeutic grade essential oil. And that's the grade that doTERRA has come up with. So there's not really any regulation on the market for the purity and potency of an essential oil. So because there's not much regulation, so people are putting 100% on the bottle, and really they have nothing to prove that it is, or they know that it's cut with a carrier oil. You can't trust those labels. You have to do your own individual research into each company. What makes that company's oil pure? How can they prove that it's pure and potent? Well, doTERRA has come up with the most stringent grade on the market, and they hold themselves to it. And the way that they prove to us is that they do this is that they've hired a third-party company, and they publish all of their test results online. No other company out there has that much transparency with their purity testing. And I really appreciate that, because I'm using this on my family instead of taking a more modern medicine route. I'm choosing to support my body and my body systems with an essential oil. I also like that we use co-impact sourcing and that we use the Healing Hands Foundation. So we're not going in and buying straight from brokers who are cutting off the farmers, and the farmers aren't making enough money. We're working directly with farmers, many in third world countries. We're bringing in all the aid that they need if they need a new well or a new school for their children, or roofs over their head. This is about getting not only the purest essential oil in the world, but getting it the right way. And so that I know that supporting this company with these oils is that we're actually doing a lot of good in the world along the way. Now, another little 101 before we jump into how specifically we're using them for pregnancy and maternity reasons. Now, ways that we can use the essential oils. It's aromatically, topically, and internally. So aromatically is going to be like in your diffuser, you open your bottle, you smell your oil. That's aromatically. Anything where it's in the air, right? Topically is applying the essential oil directly to our skin. And I always recommend that we dilute, and I'm going to go into detail with that at the second half of this page. But topically is applying it for a specific reason. So if I've got some irritated knees, I might take some Deep Blue or some other calming oil, and I will apply directly over where I have an issue. And so that's using it topically. We're also using it topically specifically for little children, because they're not taking the oils internally. It's too strong of a taste, or they can't swallow pills, so we're not going to have them do that. But they can be applied topically to, say, the bottoms of their feet, and it's still getting into their bloodstream and still providing that therapeutic benefit for them. And then internally. So we can take oils internally, and you always want to look at the label to make sure it has a supplement fact to know that this is an oil that you can use internally. And if it has that supplement fact, then you're good to go. Now, with internally, I recommend, like, I will take my frankincense or copaiba and I will directly drop under my tongue. And that's a great way. It's an instant way to get it into my bloodstream. Another way is I might take it take a few drops of oil and drop them into a little veggie cap, close it off, and swallow it like a little homemade pill. Or my third way is I'll take a little shot glass of water, about an ounce or two of water. I'll put a drop or two of the essential oil, and then I swig it back. Or depending if I'm doing something like orally where I want to swish it in my mouth, then you can swish it and swallow or spit, whatever you need for whatever you're trying to deal with at the time. So internally. Now diluting, back to that topical, whether we should dilute or not. Most of the oils are considered neat. So when it's labeled neat, that means that technically you can take that oil and apply it directly to your skin. However, I always recommend that people dilute. Remember, these are not cooking oils. These are aromatic compounds, and they want to evaporate. If you don't dilute, you're going to lose about 80% of every drop to evaporation. And you just invested in your health by buying these essential oils. I don't want you to lose 80% of it to the air. So take even just like 1 drop of copaiba or whatever oil you're using, and then 1 drop of fractionated coconut oil, and even that will help keep it from evaporating. So even if you just do a little bit of dilution, you're helping with that issue. So that's neat. Sensitive, this is going to be like peppermint. You grab that bottle of peppermint, you rub some on the back of your neck, and you have this cooling sensation, which is wonderful when you've got that head tension. And it feels great. However, when you're pregnant, a lot of times things change with your skin. So I want you to be extra aware of your new sensitivities. So dilute extra when you're pregnant. Okay. Also for little children, for babies, I want you to dilute these even more. And actually, I don't use very many sensitive and dilute hot oils on my kids. I mostly try to grab those neat oils. And then if I have to grab sensitive, I'm diluting it extra from what I would just do for myself. And then if something's labeled dilute, which is like the D or with a red little label, that's called a hot oil. This means it's pretty spicy. This is like our oregano is very hot. We actually use these for like skin tags. And so you don't want to apply this directly to your skin. It's going to burn. It's not going to be comfortable. Same with clove and some other oils. So if you are going to use a hot oil, always dilute, and dilute more than what you think you need. You're not losing the therapeutic benefit of it by diluting. So it's a good thing to dilute. You're actually making it take your body a little bit longer to metabolize it, so you're getting longer lasting effects. It's a good thing to dilute. Now, little disclaimer up front, safety during pregnancy. Always be open with your midwife and doctor. I've talked to my midwives and my OBGYNs about my essential oil usage, and I have never had one say that it wasn't okay. They've always said, yep, use them all you want. You're good to go. So always be open with your doctors. I do want to put a little disclaimer out there. Clary sage and jasmine, myrrh, these are kind of the big ones, are natural uterine tonics. So like a lot of women will drink red raspberry leaf tea all the way through their pregnancies. And some people will say, don't do that. It can cause Braxton Hicks. I never experienced that, but there's your little warning. Just use sparingly until you know if it causes some discomfort for you. It never caused any problems through my pregnancies though, but I'm leaving that into your hands to decide whether you're comfortable using those for yourself or not. When in doubt, dilute. Remember, your skin's going to be more sensitive. Your skin's a little more stretched. You're just going through a lot of changes. Also, remember that your nose is going to be a lot more sensitive to these oils. You get that super nose when you're pregnant. And so use less, or maybe sniff the oil a little bit before you just go to applying a bunch, because what if you always loved lemon, but then for some reason, because you're pregnant, because everything goes crazy when you're pregnant, you smell that lemon and you want to vomit, just because that's the way it is when you're pregnant, right? Just things you've loved your whole life become the worst thing in the world. Be aware of that. And so before you apply an oil or diffuse it, just gently smell it and decide, okay, does this fit with my body chemistry today? Just be aware of those changes. And remember, a little goes a long, long way. Remember, 1 drop is equal to 26 cups of peppermint tea. You need less than you think. So before conceiving, definitely get on some prenatals. And I've read a few different sites and from different organizations that say you need to be on a prenatal. So that's a good bioavailable vitamin. I recommend my nutrition and supplements class also on this page. Good bioavailable vitamin to help build a nutritional foundation of your health. Because being pregnant, nursing, it sucks that nutrients from you, right? Like everybody feels that. There's that fatigue. You're sharing all of your goodness with the new baby that you're growing in yourself. So it's recommended that even a year to 2 years before you conceive, you need to be on a good vitamin. Build that foundation. Don't just try after the fact to try to keep up with it. Build a foundation for yourself and for your children. Also be on a probiotic. It's really important that we take care of our gut health. Also consider a detox. It's not recommended that you detox while you're pregnant, because then when you're detoxing, you're kind of freeing, you're scrubbing those cells of the toxins in your body, okay? You don't want to free those up and have them potentially get into your milk or mess with the baby, because we now know that things are getting through the placenta. We used to think that it just straight up blocked everything, and it doesn't. So when you're pregnant, it's best to just leave it be. So before you conceive, do detoxes. Try to get rid of those things. Flush them out of your body with lots of water, some activated charcoal, and get those out of your body before you go into pregnancy. Also, clean up your hormones. I recommend that you get on a phytoestrogen supplement. I absolutely love the one I'm on. It's completely changed how my cycle is. Like completely changed. I don't have the discomforts that I used to. It's a much lesser flow. It's just getting rid of those xenoestrogens that were making it so uncomfortable before. So before you get pregnant and you're dealing with even more hormones, why don't you clean up those synthetic crappy hormones you're already dealing with? Get rid of those, help your body get into the best state of wellness that it can before you put yourself through this long journey of building a baby in your body and then feeding it for a year or two after it's born. And then detox your home and life. So really look at your home. Believe me, when you're pregnant, you're tired. With a newborn, you're tired. Before you have a baby, try to take care of some of these things, like using the more natural personal care products, trying to one by one get rid of those more toxic cleaners and switch over to a natural type of cleaner. Try to make your home a healthier place before you get into your pregnancy. It's never too late to start detoxing your home and life, right? It's never too late. But if you're looking, okay, I'm not going to get pregnant for a year or two, why not start thinking about those things now before you're exhausted by growing another human being? Everyday routine for while you're pregnant, and also I recommend this leading up to conceiving as well. This is honestly, this is a good plan for everybody, but especially those that are pregnant. On guard and balance on your feet every morning. So balance is wonderful for your whole body. It's very grounding. It's good for your red blood cells. That on guard. Remember, when you're pregnant, your immune system is down. And so this on guard helps support your immune system. It's not boosting the immune system. It's just supporting that immune system. It kind of acts as its own immune system in your body, and it's giving you the support you need during this time of your life. I also recommend 2 drops of copaiba and frankincense under your tongue. Great for cellular support and helping you get through all of this time. Citrus in your water throughout the day. So no, I'm not recommending a full cleanse while you're pregnant or while you're nursing, but I recommend that you still gently help your body deal with whatever toxins it's coming into contact every day. I don't want it to build up while you're pregnant. And so putting citruses in your water or other things to help, it's a good way to get a little bit of oil throughout the day. Also, I love that Lifelong Vitality Pack as a prenatal. All of my doctors approved of it. Obviously, take it to your doctor for approval. Some of them will have you add on a little extra omega. There will be some doctors that say there's way too much vitamin A in here. But if that happens, I want you to point out to your doctor that this is a natural form of vitamin A, and then get to see what they say about it. The amount of vitamin A that's in there is about the same as a sweet potato. So if they freak out about that, remind them of that. Remind them that it's a natural source and that it's not a synthetic source. And so what it doesn't need, our body can get rid of. And hopefully they can come around and see that, as my doctors have. Terrazyme, this is a digestive enzyme. This is helping your body, no matter what you're eating, it's helping your body really get all the nutrients it needs from each of those meals. And remember, you need all the nutrients you can get before you get pregnant, when you're pregnant, and when you're nursing. And then a probiotic every day. That gut health is so important. And then sleep. I know that sleep is not easy when you're pregnant, but we can support our body for that more restful sleep. I loved using lavender and serenity in my diffuser and topically before going to bed during my pregnancies. First trimester. So first trimester, if you have some digestive issues, I know that you probably know what I'm talking about. I like to use peppermint. And actually, a lot of prenatals. So before I had the LLV pack from doTERRA, I used just a normal synthetic vitamin that my doctor prescribed to me. And it made me throw up every single day. It was horrific. And when I was in the hospital and I forgot my LLV pack and I just used whatever the doctor brought me in the hospital, I would throw up again because it did not sit well with my stomach at all. But when I was taking the good doTERRA LLV, I actually, when I had an upset stomach, I would take my LLV if I could get it down. Depending on how bad it was that morning, I would take my LLV because it has a tummy tamer blend in it to help settle my stomach and support that digestive issue. But if you don't want to do that for your digestive issues, you could take peppermint, ginger, Digest Zen, or fennel. I kept the little peppermint beadlets or like a peppermint bottle in my pocket all the way through all of my pregnancies. It helped me with any of my digestive issues. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in the second trimester stuff. But if I just felt like I was just going to be sick, I would just smell that peppermint bottle and it just would bring a certain level of just relief that made me feel better. Cravings and aversions. So again, we can use that peppermint again. I didn't write that down on this page. I don't know why, but pregnancy is weird. It makes you suddenly love or hate the things that you used to, hate or love. And so keep that ginger or the Slim and Sassy lemon grapefruit nearby. Put it in your water. Just smell it when you're having those issues. Mood swings. Jasmine was my queen during my last pregnancy. I would have these crazy mood swings where I would just be sitting there and I would get angry. I was like, why am I angry? I feel like I'm just going to explode. And it was just this emotional roller coaster, this just roller coaster that the pregnancy threw me on. And I'd just be like, I feel like I'm just going to yell and scream at the whole family. And there's no reason for me to. Why do I feel like this? And I'd roll on that jasmine, and it just supported my hormones in a way that brought me to a good place. Now, remember, jasmine can sometimes give people Braxton Hicks. I didn't have that problem, so I used it. Other oils would be like Clary Calm. Now, warning, it has clary sage in it. So, again, same thing as jasmine. Just use it with caution. But it can still help. And then go watch my my emotional class as well if you want more information on the emotion oils or the adaptive line or other florals that you can use for the specific moods. But if you just need some hormonal support, I loved that jasmine. It did the trick for me. Now, tender breasts. I would apply like the Clary Calm or the lavender, ylang ylang. Those things are really, really nice for that issue. Fatigue. LLV. If I wasn't taking a full dose of the LLV, I felt so exhausted. And so I would take a half dose with breakfast, and then I would take a half dose with lunch, and it would get me through the day. If I needed an extra boost, I would take our energy supplement, which is Mito to Max, and that's totally fine during pregnancy. Also, you can pull out that bottle of peppermint, because I'm telling you, it was my best friend during pregnancy. Peppermint was like the answer for everything physical, and jasmine was the answer for everything emotional. That's just how it worked for me. Obviously, everyone's different, but I found my heroes and I stuck to them. Motivate, cheer, other uplifting ones are great for helping you get through the afternoon. Head tension. Oh, I don't know about you, but those hormonal swings of pregnancy did something to my brain. I felt like I dealt with so much head tension during my pregnancies. And to help support through those issues, I would take that peppermint topically, again, my go-to for everything pregnancy. But deep blue, past tense, frankincense are all great for helping your body to act the way it's supposed to. Second trimester help. Round ligament minor pain. So if you've got some discomfort, take a bath in some lavender. That's really nice. Some serenity or balance in there. I wouldn't recommend deep blue with a bath because it's got peppermint and it'll be a little, whoo, if you get what I mean, because the hot water it opens your pores. So I wouldn't recommend peppermint in the bath unless you're like, you like that or something. But you can use some of these oils to help with those issues. Healthy skin, I would, of course, everyone's using moisturizers all over their belly all during pregnancy. I used a lot of our body, it's like what do we call it? There's a really nice cream from doTERRA. It's like Douglas fir and grapefruit, and it's practically the Happy Mama blend in this like body cream. It's incredible stuff, but you can always make your own with just a plain unscented lotion with some frankincense, immortelle, yarrow, palm is delightful, and then geranium. These are all, any of these or all of them together in some lotion are going to be great for that healthy skin. Digestive issues. A lot of times those digestive issues go from being a little dizzy to feeling on fire. Again, I kept that peppermint with me all the time. I tried to stay away from the foods that caused that issue, but I found that this helped the most, especially since I'm short and I've got that short torso. It was like my throat was on fire all the time, and this peppermint helped with that issue. Digestin, ginger, the Digestin tablets. Now, I'm going to warn you, they're super strong, the Digestin tablets, but they work. So give them a shot. They're super strong, but they work, so it's worth it. And then spearmint. And spearmint's a great one too, because spearmint it has that cooling effect, but it's also very supportive for your hormones. Back discomfort, deep blue, marjoram, frankincense, aroma touch, any of those things that you're normally going to grab. You go for a run and your back hurts afterwards. Use those same oils for this. Just apply those topically. Go take a nice bath with some lavender and frankincense and get yourself feeling your best. Cardiovascular support. So we all know that during pregnancy, sometimes your blood's not flowing the way it's supposed to. I like to use that cypress, lavender, and helichrysum. I go through so much cypress when I'm pregnant. It's just a way that I can get my legs feeling the way that they're supposed to, and my hands it just feels better when I'm using them. Third trimester, overall support. So we start retaining a lot during our third trimester, right? Lots of water, guys, lots of water, and always add those citruses. Specifically, grapefruit is a great one. Here I put lemon, lime, wild orange. They all are high in that limonene and are going to help you out. Topically, so for your feet, if they've got some issues, use that aroma touch, that citrus bliss, cypress, ginger, and lemon topically there with some carrier oil. Muscle discomfort. So again, it just becomes more and more uncomfortable the further you get into pregnancy. And so I go through a lot of Aroma Touch Deep Blue. Again, that cypress for everything. It's just delightful. It's grounding and it's helping hit a root cause of some of that discomfort. And then geranium. And then I actually personally take that full dose LLV every day, plus I take the bone nutrient, which is some extra of some of the things I need for my structure. Occasional sore and tired muscles. So again, past tense, lavender, Siberian fir, frankincense, and then sleep. I know it's so hard to get sleep, but here's some extra. I took so many Serenity capsules. I still take Serenity capsules. I'll take 1 or 2 before bed for a really restful night of sleep. And then I diffuse lavender Serenity or Roman chamomile. And I love that bergamot in some nighttime tea. Labor and delivery. So here are some oils that you can use specifically through this. So uterine tonics. I slathered on so much clary sage in my last month of pregnancy. I just wanted to support my uterus to act the way it's supposed to, help it to be prepared for all the work that it was about to do. I used so much clary sage. Tension, I'm using that geranium, basil, Aroma Touch, lavender. Strength emotionally and physically through transition. I'm taking basil. You can apply that topically, or you can just smell out of the bottle. Be careful through labor and delivery, because you can go through that beginning of labor and love certain smells, and then you get to past transition and then you're like, I hate it, get it away from me. So be careful and be willing to change as you go through the different stages. And expect your body to change. So don't take one of each of these oils into your labor and delivery room. Take as many of them as you can. Because one, you might love through the whole pregnancy and you hate it for delivery. Or maybe geranium works really well for my tension, but your body chemistry needs lavender or Aroma Touch. You want to have as many things, and it might have worked for your last delivery, but every delivery is so different. Have as many of these on hand as you can so that you have lots of options, because every delivery is different. Back labor, I'm using black pepper and copaiba, and we're using those topically with coconut oil, and we're rubbing those in between contractions. Atmosphere, so having something diffusing in the room. That was some of the biggest compliments I got through all of my different deliveries, was your room is the best smelling room on our entire floor. And I would always be diffusing something, usually something clean, because how horrible do hospitals smell? So that citrus bliss is wonderful. That citrus bliss or elevation, if you wanted to just smell clean and uplifting, if you just want to feel calm and serene, depending on where you are in your hospital stay, lavender, Serenity, Roman chamomile. Just think about the different ways, the different atmospheres you might want to create in the hospital, and bring an oil for those different atmospheres. Supporting your contractions. That myrrh helps support your contractions and to work in, you get stuck in labor or something, you can apply that myrrh, take it under your tongue for some extra support. Those occasional anxious feelings, especially during transition, you go from I can do this to I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. Use oils, prepare yourself for those moments. Bring that peppermint, copaiba, balance, adaptive. Again, bring your arsenal of oils so that you have whatever you need in that moment, because you can't predict how you're going to feel in those moments. Energy, you feel, who knows, maybe you've been in labor for 24 hours already, you're exhausted and you still have hours to go. Energy, elevation, citrus bliss, diffusing in the room, smelling it out of the bottle, whatever it is that's going to help you get you through this time. Postpartum. So everybody knows that it's pain. You think I delivered the baby, the pain is over. It's not. A lot of times it's not. And so what I like to use is lavender, Siberian fir, clary calm over my abdomen with some coconut oil, and it helps support my body through that. I also nurse my baby to help help finish up that job for me. Having difficulty urinating, it's a lot just went on down there. Put a drop of peppermint in the toilet. It helps, it just brings a really like cooling sensation that can help you release those muscles. Peri spray, take Immortelle or whatever oils you have from Immortelle, like frankincense, sandalwood, helichrysum. Put those in a spray bottle with FCO and have your husband or nurse or doula or whatever, or you, spray on that area. Stress, bring your balance, bring your emotional oils, apply those to the bottoms of your feet, diffuse those oils. A hospital stay does not have to be it doesn't have to be this horrible, terrible thing. Bring these tools with you so that you can get through them in the most positive way that you can. C-section scars. So I helped support my body and helped my body with healthy skin after permission from my doctor, of course. And I've used a lot of that Immortelle, and I feel that it helps support my skin to be healthy, and it also helps support my nervous system. Baby blues. I love the Adaptive line. Adaptive line is my go-to for this. I take 2 Adaptive complexes, one in the morning and one in the evening. I recommend you watch my emotional class for this one. I go a lot more into depth, and all of the things from that emotion class are fine while you're nursing or in postpartum. But then there's other options. That LLV, having a nutritional foundation to your health is so important. Copaiba is amazing. And then also diffusing, and that, where I was talking about the supplementation. So having that nutritional foundation. Breastfeeding. So I've breastfed all 3 of my kids. 2 of them I actually nursed tandem. I have been pregnant or nursing for 7 years straight now. Yay! Can I have my body back? I think I had 1 month off. But this is part of my life. I've got an almost 2-year-old and he's still nursing. So for preparing your body to have rich colostrum in milk, you need to be having that LLV pack all the way through your pregnancy, along with a probiotic all the way through your pregnancy. It's going to support your body to create that rich colostrum in the beginning. Temporary milk supply. So nothing is going to make up for the supply and demand that you get from nursing your baby on demand. So anytime that baby wants to nurse, you let that baby nurse. But if you need a temporary milk boost, I recommend fennel or basil topically over your breasts. I recommend that after the baby is nursed, because the baby will be like, what is that smell? What does that taste? It's too much. By the time they nurse again, it's usually gone enough that they're fine nursing again. And if you're worried about their latching and stuff because they don't like that smell, you can always take these 2 internally, and that's totally fine. That's still going to be supportive. To help lessen your supply, so say you're super engorged and you're uncomfortable, or you've got some kind of clog and you need to just bring down that supply, I like peppermint. Now, it doesn't really work for me. I can drop whole bottles on my breasts and nothing's going to happen to my milk supply, because I know how my milk supply works. And this doesn't have that effect on me. Some people will diffuse peppermint and they lose some of their supply. So a little disclaimer about using peppermint once you've started nursing. And if you're unsure, wait until you have an established milk supply, and then you can kind of test it out and always use those boosting oils or nurse some extra to make up for it. Discomfort. If this is your first time nursing, I know it doesn't feel great at the beginning. Definitely not. I recommend that you reach out to lactation consultants. Make sure that you've got a good latch, and that you aren't dealing with tongue or lip ties. But there are some oils that can help you along the way. Now, I actually preferred breast milk above all else. I felt like that was the most supportive for me. But you can also use myrrh, geranium, sandalwood, and then I mentioned the breast milk. And of course, that's after baby nurses. And then environmental supportive. So if you come up with problems with your breasts, kind of environmental issues, I personally saw a lot of help from basil, but I know that citrus, bliss, wild orange, clove, rosemary, on guard, melaleuca are some of the other big ones for that issue. And I would just apply topically and take internally for that. Newborn. So what are some things that we can use on our newborn babies? So as soon as they're born, I put myrrh on my baby's umbilical cord spot, their belly button. It's really great for their cells, stress and grounding. Your babies just went through a really traumatic event. They were all warm and cozy, and now they're out in this cold world, and they were pushed through this small place, and for them it's terrifying, and so they're stressed out. So take some balance, apply it to their feet, give them some good skin to skin. Repair and bonding. I love frankincense on the crown and spine. Isn't this amazing that there's frankincense and myrrh on here, and those were the gifts to the Christ child, and they're amazing for newborns. I love that frankincense. It's amazing for cellular support. So grab that. Also for some DNA repair, take some of that Melissa and apply to the bottoms of their feet. And then baby care at home. There's a number of issues that you might run into that are a little more common, but I also recommend my children's class that can help you transition, but these are some really common baby issues, so I'll mention them here as well. If you've got little white spots in the mouth, I love to use that melaleuca and lavender. It's worked for us every single time. It's been really amazing, the kind of support, the healthy support we've seen in our home. Skin and cleaning organ support. So you want to help those cleansing organs for our little ones. I actually took extra vitamin C during the end of my pregnancy, and my babies had some of the best scores. Our nurses were like, your kids have some of the best scores I've ever seen for this issue. And I was like, oh, well, I did research on what vitamin C would do for that. And it just blew their mind. So I specifically took vitamin C, some extra. Remember to always consult with your doctor or midwife. And then also geranium and lemon on the feet, supporting those cleansing organs. Digestive supports. How many babies have digestive support? Sweet, sweet little ones. Digestin is our hero. Digestin is actually what got us into the oils. My daughter had digestive issues, and this Digestin just brought balance and wellness to our family. So we would apply that with a lot of coconut oil because this is sensitive because it's got peppermint, but it's what helps. Or you can use calmer or tamer or lavender topically over their belly. And I would just apply that every diaper change so that you're remembering to apply it often. Healthy ears, we take melaleuca or basil and apply around the ear. Lavender, stronger, some other options. But we like that melaleuca, basil, and lavender, and we find that it helps. We don't drop them into the ear. Putting it around the ears is enough. Skin irritations, lavender, melaleuca, and frankincense. Those are the go-to. If you've got some skin irritations, grab these 3 first. Apply this with some raw coconut oil every diaper change often. It's good skin to skin time anyway, some baby massage, help support that body. If that's not enough, we found a lot of support from Douglas fir and copaiba as well. Gums, we love to use very, very heavily diluted clove, or we'll use copaiba, lavender, calmer, rescuer, great for that. We'll apply it along the jawline and then directly to the gums when we need it. And it's just all diluted because it's a baby. So when we're using oils on babies, we need so little. You need just a tiny bit in your little roller bottle with a bunch of coconut oil. Remember, 1 drop is 26 cups of peppermint tea. Your baby doesn't need 26 cups of peppermint tea. They need 1. So they need less than a drop. And so if you have roller bottles, use those. Eye health, breast milk in the eye. Your breast milk is so powerful. Go look up all the crazy benefits of breast milk. We actually use that for healthy ears as well. It's just good stuff, guys. It does, like, God created us really well, and He created us to be able to handle the situations that arise. And this is one of the examples of that. Lavender around, but I want to warn you to be very careful about putting any oils around the eyes. It'll sting if they rub their little eyes. I don't personally do that, not until they're older at least. For this, I use the reflexology points. So I will put these oils on their little toes and then put a sock over it. And then last but not least, if they need to be cooled down a little bit, I'll take lavender, peppermint, stronger, calmer. But for the most case, I'm not trying to cool them down. I know that their bodies and their immune systems are doing good, hard work at getting the work done that needs to get done. So, but in the case that they need it, I can use those oils and I have them at my disposal. So that's the end of this class. I really hope that this was helpful for you to know that oils are an option for you. You don't have to look at that sheet that the doctor just gave you that says you can't take any medications. Good luck, and feel in despair. I kind of felt like that the first time I got that piece of paper. Like, you can't take any of these. It was just like, what am I supposed to do then? If I can't take any of this medicine, what can I do? And so you don't have to feel that kind of lack of hope. You can feel like you can be empowered to take care of your family's health. You can do this in a natural way that your doctor can approve of. That's not going to have all those unwanted side effects that you have with, that you worry about with pregnancy and for your newborns and your kids. That you can do this, and that there is another way, and that you don't have to rely on those medications. So I hope that this was helpful for you.